Hello everyone, I'm here to review a brand new 2016 Honda NC750X motorcycle. It is my very first motorcycle. It is a very beautiful looking motorcycle, at least it is to me, in my opinion. Um, like I said, I am a brand new rider, and I finished the course to get my license this summer. And after finishing my license, of course, like any other person who goes to one of these courses and gets their license, they're looking for a motorcycle. And when it's your first motorcycle, you're often recommended to get something fairly small, um, like a 300, something with a small engine, so there's not a lot of power, so you don't accidentally hurt yourself by making it go too fast, and lose control. Me being a big guy at 6'5", I knew that a 300 might be a bit too small, and having talked to some of my fellow friends who are riders themselves, they all suggested something much larger. Some of them suggesting something as big as 1,000 cc motorcycle. I didn't want to quite go there just right away. I was still a little nervous about riding a motorcycle for the first time. So I decided to go with this one. It's a 750. So I thought that was a great compromise between the recommended 300 and from the motorcycle school, and from your friends telling you you're going to go for 1,000. I thought the 750 was a good compromise, and I haven't regretted it at all. Even though it's a 750, it doesn't have a lot of pep, a lot of power. I guess it's only 54 horsepower. Even though, like I said, a 750 engine, you might think there should be more horsepower, especially when you consider some other motorcycles, like my friend's Ducati Diavel, which has, I believe, 160 horsepower. So you can see this one has three times as small in terms of number of the horsepower as that bike. But for a beginner, it's great. It has enough pep, enough power to get you going. It has a very low center of gravity, so it's a very well balanced bike. It's not too difficult to keep it maintained and balanced and straight on the road. It's not too hard to go around turns and curves. Um, yeah, some of these other bikes with a higher center of gravity, it might be a little more easy to tip it over, especially if you're not a big guy. This is also a tall bike, so there's probably a more tendency for it to fall over. And if you're not a tall, big, strong guy, it might be a little harder for you to handle that and keep it upright. Like I said, I'm a big guy, 6'5", 230, 240. I needed a tall bike, and that's why I went for these adventure bikes. I figured they'd be comfortable, allow me to kind of stretch my legs a little bit when I'm coming to a stop. And this bike has been fine, especially like I said, for a beginner bike. Having 54 horsepower is enough. It gets me going as fast as I need to go, especially on the roads. Personally, I haven't taken it on the highway yet. I don't think there's going to be any problem though. I can see I can get up to 100, which is our regular highway maximum speed limit. I can get to it fairly fast, even at my size. So, with the engine pulling somebody as big as me as fast as it does, should be fine for somebody smaller. Um, Other than that, I think the greatest feature in this bike, as compared to a lot of other bikes, is the compartment in the front of the handlebars there, where you would normally have a gas tank. It's very well known, if you do a little research on this bike, that instead of the gas tank being placed there in front of the handlebars, it's placed down below your seat. Um, and this part is actually used to store different items. So you can actually put a helmet in that area right there in front of the handlebars, which is great. And I put my keys, I put my cell phone, my wallet, other items that would normally have to carry in a jacket or in a extra storage compartment that I have to buy and add to the back of my motorcycle. So when I saw that, that kind of said to me right away, you know what, I want to get this bike. I don't want to have to worry about putting all these things and buying another storage compartment. I just want to put it in the bike, not have it dangling around in my pockets. So that kind of sold me right there. I did look at the Suzuki V-Strom. I did look at the Kawasaki Versailles, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. And they were nice bikes as well. But that storage compartment I thought was just, kind of the winner in terms of making me decide to get this bike. And like I said, I don't regret it. It's easy to, like I said, to take turns. It's easy to get it going. Um, I find shifting is pretty smooth. I've read of other bikes where people ride them that there's some jerkiness in terms of shifting, and if you don't actually time your clutch and your throttle correctly or at the right time, that it's going to jerk you forward. I haven't really found that at all with this bike. I guess, as other people have said on the internet, this is a very forgiving bike. So I would say it's a great bike for a beginner like myself. Maybe it's not something you're going to stick with forever. I definitely like to try another bike, and I'm already looking at other bikes, but it's not that I regret this bike, and I might even keep this bike along with the other bike until I decide which one's better. But for now, I'm going to ride this. In the future, I may look for something a little more powerful to have a little more fun with. But if it wasn't really for that little bit of lack in the horsepower, this would be the perfect bike, I think, for anybody. So give it a good thinking over, and I'm sure you'll be happy you get it just like I have. All right, that's it. Thanks a lot.